Most of the world doesn't conduct elections the way that we have now embraced as United States.
No, they're not foolish enough to.
Yeah, this is a COVID movement that has now been retained. You know, that we are still voting, or not on election day and not in person. We are moving to massive mail-in balloting as really the bulk of our election. Not yet, but we're on the path to that.
100%.
You know, now when we suggest, hey, that might not be the healthiest way to conduct a democracy, critics would say, what, you don't want more people voting? You don't want as much of your populace taking place? You know, I would ask this in return. If right now we decided, you know what we're going to do from now on? We're going to do internet voting, all right? All you have to do is click onto a website and click. Is that where we're headed? Like,
probably.
Because
that's where they'd want us to be.
Yeah, they'd love that. Listen.
And I'm just here to tell you that more doesn't mean necessarily healthy.
What's up, everybody? Major Retired Richard Ojeda here. Fox and friends are here to say the quiet part out loud. They don't want you to vote. They want less people voting, and I think we know exactly why that is. Their guys tend to lose when more people are voting.
Everybody voting, do you think everybody is invested in this? Is everyone familiar with the candidates? Do they know the issues? I think that there is a minimal effort in going to the poll that reflects a certain level of investment and skin in the game. Yeah. And I think we're going to have to ask ourselves at some point in the not too distant future, what is the threshold of investment? Is it this, a click? Because we're headed there.
Fox does this weird thing where they take generally good ideas like expanded health care and voting rights and always turn it into how much their viewers are going to lose if more people have access to a better life in the United States. Let's be clear, their business model is selling misery and having their viewers like it. Here is a great example, now and building on from 2020. They want people to be angry at those that vote via absentee and mail-in ballots. The reason why is simple. Those people, especially during the pandemic, were overwhelmingly Democratic voters. So now, casually glossing over the fact that military personnel have to vote via absentee ballot, they are telling their viewers to be upset that people don't show up for the day of voting.
Voting should not be as simple as ordering an Amazon package, because there's a lot more at stake with what you should be considering when you cast your ballot. Everyone get access to that information, and then whether it's a weekend or whatever it is, let's all go together to the polls so that we can all learn together what the result is, and most importantly, have faith in that result. You want to say a threat to democracy? It's what we're watching in Arizona right now.
Now, why would you want people to stand in long lines and the system to be a mess? Because it makes them look better, and less people can vote on the day of the elections. Also lacing that with some very clear disdain for people who physically are not able to go to the polls, as well as conflating the effort with the idea that you don't deserve a say in democracy if we can't all be there on that one day.
I'm thinking about a lot of things right now. I'm thinking about all those man on the streets that Jesse Waters does, or you ask the percentage of American people name the Vice President of the United States, you know? What do you think percentages of people can name the Vice President of the United States?
It's not very high. I mean,
but they still have a right to
all
vote.
Of those
I'm not talking about taking anybody's right to vote away. I want everybody to have the right to vote. All I'm asking is that you understand a little bit what you're voting for.
I'm sorry. I mean, the media is very concerned about the security of our elections, but when it comes to mail-in ballots, all of a sudden, the concern for election security just melts away.
But Kelly, you yourself have voted by mail. Thank you very much.
Yes, Trump press secretary Kayleigh McEnany voted by mail multiple times, despite trying to claim it creates fraud. Same story with Kellyanne Conway, pretty much.
People are very proud to show up and go to the polls. They really are. I mean, they wait in line for a Georgetown cupcake for an hour to get a cupcake. So I think they can probably wait in line to do something as consequential and critical and constitutionally significant as cast their ballot.
But not Kellyanne. She voted in the 2018 midterm elections with a mail-in ballot, records show, and of course, the big fish, Donald Trump.
So you were highly critical of mail-in voting, mail-in ballots for voting.
I think mail-in voting is
but
horrible.
You voted by
It's
mail
corrupt.
in Florida's election last month, didn't you?
Sure, I could vote by mail for that.
How do you reconcile
Because I'm
that?
allowed to. Well, that's called out of state. You know why I voted? Because I happen to be in the White House and I won't be able to go to Florida to vote.
But let me just say, mailing within
well, there's a
state or
big
mailing
difference
outside the
between
state?
somebody that's out of state and does a ballot and everything sealed, certified, and everything else. You see what you have to do with the certifications.
No, the real difference that he's citing there is that he's rich and powerful and he's able to do it. Poor people, black people, young people with just student IDs, old people who may be outraged by his handling of the coronavirus pandemic and may vote for Biden. All of those people, no, they can't vote by mail. I wonder what the common denominator is there. the fact that they would be voting against him, most likely. Same with Kellyanne and Kayleigh there. They're white, wealthy, powerful people. They get to vote by mail because they're the Washington elite, and everyone else can participate. Talk about draining the swamp, by the way.